Hey guys, Jacob Wheeler here. One of the newest, hottest techniques out there is throwing an articulated head like the hard head right here and Biffle Bug heads. Throwing like a Biffle Bug or throwing a speed crawl, throwing some rattling crawlers. This is super important. This is a different technique and a different presentation that really shows this fish something different. That's what the key is these days. A lot of times our presentations and a lot of our baits are very similar, but showing them a different presentation and showing them a different action is the key. So I'm going to show you real quick here on how to rig up a Biffle Bug. It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you and talk a little bit about how I fish it, what line size, what rod, and so on and so forth. Just simply Texas rig the Biffle Bug is the simplest way for me. I'm going to just do a regular, probably about a half of an inch down the way, get in that little groove. This is a 7/16 by the way, and that's about my favorite weight size, for especially when I'm fishing it in 4 to 8 feet of water. And I'll just go all the way, and this is Texpose it, and that's really what the key is, where you're Texposing. I don't really even I just barely skin hook it, really Texpose it, barely skin hook it, and you're ready to go now. So that's how basically that's the business end of the line right there. Now, what line size do I have to use? This is 14-pound Suffolk's 100% fluorocarbon castable Vinza line, and that's really my favorite because I can feel really well down there. The bait gets down there in the bottom. If you throw 17 or 20. You won't, that bait won't get down there as much. It has more resistance. It doesn't, wants to ride up more. So this is allowing me to keep in contact with the bottom. Whenever you're throwing that Biffle Bug, it's sort of like a crankbait. You get more bites when you're allowing that bait to hit every little stump, little rock, little pebble, and it's basically changing the direction of how it's going, and that's why that articulated head, imagine that bait down there on the bottom, and it's hitting stuff, and it's going crazy and doing all this stuff down there, and that's how you get those reaction strikes, that's how you get your strikes. Now, rod setup, a 7.3 heavy action Akuma. This is actually a parabolic bend rod, so it's a heavy action, but it has a little bit more bend to it. When that fish bites it, I reel down and I pull set. I don't have to jack it necessarily on that Biffle Bug. It's sort of a weird bite. It's sort of like a swim bait bite, sort of like a crankbait bite, and you're sort of pull setting. You have that Texpose like I showed you right there. You're going to hook up really well. That parabolic bend is very important because that's going to allow, if you put a hook and you consistently put pressure on it, it's going to eventually go through and get through that fish's mouth, and you're going to have a good hookup ratio and get those fish in the boat. So try this technique out this year. It's been an awesome technique for me, and I'm really excited to keep on fishing it in 2015.